Ladies and gentlemen, yogis and yoginis, welcome to the Meditation and Service Show. We are live on Facebook and YouTube.
It is great to see you all again. Today we are pleased to present another show packed with unique and uplifting stories.
Last week we had an amazing guest, Didi Anandadewa Priya, but this week's guest is nothing short of that. He got tired with this world and went on a journey to search for something meaningful.
And he found it first in India and later in Africa. And what he found is that dedicating his life to those who are suppressed and downtrodden gives him peace of mind. And though he owns nothing, he feels he has everything.
We also have a musician with us today. He has a very interesting angle to music. He is a member of the international artist movement RAWA, which uses their creativity as a tool to serve and to make a difference.
But remember, this is an interactive show, and we want all of you, all of our viewers, to be involved. And throughout the show, we like you to continue to ask questions to our guests in the chat, or just give us some comments.
All right, Dada, let's bring in our first guest. He's originally from France. He started to meditate in the year of 2000 and became a charya, a meditating monk, in 2008. He's been working in Mexico and Europe, and in 2008, he went to Africa where he started to work with the poorest of the poor in Burkina Faso. He says that working with those who have nothing feels meaningful because there everything needs to be done. There he runs a primary and secondary school for over 300 children. He makes a natural medicines, he runs a medical clinic, he's a midwife and an ambulance driver. He runs a yoga center, and last year he became a YouTuber. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Dada Padmesananda. Welcome, Dadaji.
Welcome, Dadaji. Welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me. It's so nice to be with you.
Dada, before we talk about Africa, we like to hear a bit more about you. And your journey started with a trip to India, which is a disorganized country with very low hygiene standard and a place sure to get stomach problems. So, Dada, why did you go to India?
So it's a very long story. You told me I have little time. I don't know how. But to make it short, I was not very satisfied with my life in France. I was a normal teenager doing so many things, but not finding much, joy, juice to life. So actually, when I was younger, of a younger age, I read a book, The Alchemist of Paulo Coelho. And I promised myself that before I get established into some family life or some work or, I should have to travel and discover the meaning of life, the meaning of my life. And turns out that a friend of mine went to India and he was working at the Alliance Française. And he invited me. And at that point, I was very dissatisfied with what I was doing in France. I was doing music, actually, punk rock, for those who know. And I thought this is an opportunity for me to completely change. Otherwise, I think my life would be very disastrous. And I took one-way ticket. I had a small car. I sold the small car. I left my band. I left my girlfriend. I left everything. And I took that one-way ticket thinking that in India, everything can happen. That's what I heard about India. So I went there and I spent about 4 months. Actually, I didn't stay there, but I was traveling in a very poor conditions with the poorer of India. And then something very interesting happened. Is that I come from a like middle standard in a French family, so I didn't lack of anything. But I was traveling with very poor people who could complain about so many things, but I was the one complaining. I was the one whining, and they were all smiles and happy and joyful. So I thought, this is not the world is not the problem. It must be my mind.
Right.
It's not the world that's dark. It must be my mind. And I thought if I change something in my mind, life would change and the world would look different. And I think that was a starting point that I thought I have to work on myself in order to make
Right.
life beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So how has meditation changed you?
Well, I was very lucky that well, it's a long story. So I came back from India in the end. In the end, I discovered that the money was never withdrawn on my, Mastercard I had. So I had still money to come back, and I had some attachment in France. So I was thinking, traveling alone is a bit lonely. Let me go back to France. And when I come back to France, again with the same friends, the same people, negativity was coming back. So I said, this is not the end. So I saw that there was one farm in Czech Republic, and they were doing yoga. I had started to do yoga already. Yeah. They were doing yoga, they were doing meditation, they were vegetarian. I was also already vegetarian. I thought, let me go there. So I went there and I met one Didi. So one Didi is a yogic monk, like I am now, but she's a woman. And I met her, it was in Czech Republic, and she taught me very basic meditation, like I think we will do a little bit later on, based on the Bhavanam Kevalam. Right? Very simple meditation. And after 3 days, so she very much convinced me that doing meditation is something I should be doing. And on the third day, I sat for meditation, and I was not able at all to do meditation. My mind was so preoccupied by so many worries, so many concerns. But for some reason, on that day when I sat for meditation, my mind went somewhere. I don't know where it went, for how long. But when I came back to my senses. I felt that something in me will never die. I am immortal. And that was
Mm.
so strong. So I started crying and crying, and the whole morning I'm there crying, crying. So what is going on? What is going on? I was feeling so much love, as if my heart has been, in a cell for so many eons of age, and then suddenly it could open and feel so much love going to. So it was a great, uh, enormous experience. I felt
Mm-hmm.
that must be my soul. Maybe I have experienced my soul, and but then I thought that everyone must have his own soul, his own individual soul. But here I was feeling that we all have the same soul: the birds, the people, the trees. So I'm not alone anymore because I'm sharing, what I am with everything else. It was so strong. So from that time, it was like a rebirth. From that time, I became really like convinced, more than convinced that this is my life and this is my aim is to do that experience again. I never felt that much happiness.
So is
So
that the most valuable things that you have learned from meditation, the one that you mentioned just now? Do you think that that is the most valuable things that you feel that you learn from meditation?
yeah, I didn't learn something from meditation on that day. I just did an experience. And that experience, I became certain that this is the highest type of experience that one can do. And I want to do it again. I want to live in that stage, in that
Mm-hmm.
state forever.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
Yeah.
like that.
And then after some time that you decided to become a monk, right? So why? Is that you try to escape from something, or why you want to become a monk?
Well, I started to actually help others also at that time because I thought, well, they advised me to do meditation. It was
Mm-hmm.
definitely a good advice. And the Didi was also advising me, sorry, to help others. So I thought, okay, let me follow that advice also. And I started to help. It was in a farm. We were receiving volunteers from all over the world, and we were teaching organic cultivation of vegetables. And I started to help and I started to feel useful while I was helping others. And this was also something very important in my life, that suddenly I feel I am worth something because I am useful for others. So the more I was going into those two different wings of what is, the yogic path, like meditation and some work on oneself, and also helping others for their fulfillment, the more I was feeling that this is the right thing to do. And everyone should do that, actually. I was feeling like, why, I was never taught in school that we should be living in such a way. So I started to work as a volunteer, and I had more and more desire to share what I had discovered and how good I was feeling about this path. So eventually, after 4 years, it's a long process, because in order to become a monk, you have to renounce so many things, and so many fears are there. It's a long process to accept that, yes, this is my life, this is my mission of life. So the decision happened almost 4 years after that, after I work as a volunteer, uh, almost 4 years. It was a long process.
Right. And and then Africa came calling. And Africa is such a downtrodden continent where daily life is pretty much about survival. How has working under such condition influenced you?
Well, actually, for me, the worst thing in the world is boredom. So, when you want to help others and do something meaningful in Europe, I'm from Europe, it's not easy, because you feel that everything is already done. You don't know what to do. What can I do for helping others? It's not very easy. But as I came to Africa, this is the opposite. You open the door and you feel that everything is yet to be done, because as people are suffering so much from lack of the basic necessities of life. So I liked many things here immediately, and the first one was that be very easily useful, and the second one is the life is a bit adventurous. I like adventures. It's not everything is not pre-planned and everything is clean. Like you have in Europe or in America, everything is already organized and clean and prepared. So here you have to that you will have so many ups and downs in the day, because so many dramas are going to happen. There'll be blackout, there will be some sickness, you will be so many things can happen on one day here. It's very interesting, very intense life. So I like that, and I like the people very much, because the people are more simple, I think, than in our complicated society, and they're very human, and they put a lot of stress on humanity, a lot of stress on the quality of relationship, and I really like that. And I felt, I have everything to learn regarding relationships when I came to Africa. I was very, very keen to forget about all I knew and become a new person again here in Africa, with all the positivity that I was witnessing. Yes, so so many aspects I liked here. I think that in a Western world, because we have everything, we are a bit confused about what to do. What can I do to be happy? I have access to everything, yet I am not being satisfied, and it makes one very confused. But here in Africa, it's a disgrace. It's also an opportunity. I think the fact that you live, and because you have to fulfill your basic necessities, you have to find something to eat, you have to find your house, you have to find the means to treat yourself, to have medical treatments. Then the mind is very focused, because what you have to do is to progress and to develop yourself, at least on the material sphere. So it makes the mind more balanced, I think, more balanced, more focused, and more healthy. Yes. I think there is more sanity here that I found in my own country.
So, in Burkina Faso, you work with the people who live in extreme poverty, like what you explained just now. Do you have any strategy to move them forward?
To what?
Do you have any strategy to move them forward?
My strategy is let them show me the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's very much like that because the context, the environment, the psychology is very, very, very different. Though I was lucky enough to travel in Mexico, in India, which are very different places uh, comparatively to France. But when I went to Africa, that's really something different. It took me almost 3 years to start thinking. I think I'm starting to understand how it works. It
Mm-hmm.
took me minimum 3 years, and I think it took me almost 6 years in order to be efficient in the work.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing I've done, I think, is to be attentive and to be very watchful of how the people work and what is the psychology, and let them make the first steps when they want to do something, and really I feel that they have this type of development at heart. Then I try to
Yeah.
accompany them, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that this is why the project is quite successful today, is because they have the lead, and
Yeah.
we are working together. Yes,
Yeah, I notice
we
a
do
lot of
slowly.
development is happening here
Eh,
and there. Yeah. So that it's appear that those who meditate develop an urge to serve as well. So why is it so? Is there any connection between the meditation practice and the service?
Oh, yes, yes, very much, because when you do not practice meditation, it's very difficult to be happy, because you look for happiness outside, in the world outside, and I don't, maybe some people find it, but I think usually what we find in the external world is it's often frustrating. It's not enough. So when a person starts to be fulfilled within, he becomes abundant. The relationship to the external world changes. You don't need something. Now you are full and you want to give something. And as you want to give something, it is service is start. But when you are too much in need, too much unsatisfied, then you need others, and you are not in the spirit of service. But when you see your heart is expanding, you finish your meditation, you just want to embrace everyone, then service becomes very natural. And I think some people, they ask me sometimes, Dada, how do I know that my meditation is fruitful? How do I know that I do progress? And I tell them, this is, you should be feeling that you want to embrace the world. When your meditation is good, you feel so much love for everything around you, and you want to help, you want to serve, you feel part of it. You feel, this is my family, this world is my family, this is my
Mhm.
place, and I have an opportunity to help them. And this is such a beautiful role when you help others. It is the most beautiful thing you can do. The most beautiful reward you can have is that when you are surrounded by people which whom you have helped. It is when I go to the village, and the village, it's a big village, almost 5,000 people, the village and the surroundings, and people are always so happy to see me.
Mhm.
Because there is hardly any family we have not touched through education, through sponsorship, through access to water, and we have spent really good time together. And so the more I do it, the more I understand that it's the right thing. Again, same thing. Yoga, I think it works through experiment and experience. And when you understand that what you do is a good thing, you want to do it again. Yes.
So meditation gives that desire to serve and help and do something for the world. And service is absolutely necessary in the world, and especially in Africa, but all over the world. So the combination of these two seems to be a powerful combination.
Mhm.
Yes, I think we all want to make this world a better world. I think it is in everyone's heart, even those who do mistakes. They hope that through their action they are going to impact the world. So we all have a duty, I think, to help others. And when you can marry, when you can do both at the same time, you do some work on yourself, meditation, and then you do service, then it becomes very powerful because it is very real and it is very organic. And then when you feel that you are actually progressing personally, and you also make this world progress, even in your little small jurisdiction, it feels good. It's like a win-win. It's good for yourself. It's good for others. It's very simple. I will tell you something, is that when I met yoga and I became part of this yogi community, some people were very afraid what I was doing, what I was doing now, because it's something that was not part of our culture. So now I'm dressed in orange. You can imagine if I go to
Yeah.
France and I'm dressed in orange like this, people, wow, what is it doing? So when I met that path and I was so inspired, and I talked to my parents, I talked to my family that look, I found really something so wonderful. I feel so good, and then I was surprised to realize that there were very anxious eyes. What are you doing? Are you sure this is the right way to live? This is so different. And there are a lot of worries were there. And I remember thinking, no, maybe they are right. But then I thought deeper and I thought, look, what I'm doing, I do meditation, I eat healthy food, I do only, healthy things for myself. And the rest of the time I help others. So I don't see what can be frightening or what can be rationally bad in the path. It's very simple, very clear, and very logical. So yeah, I think that's why I became a monk in the end. I really want to share that to the world.
Right.
That please, do meditation, help others. You'll become
Yeah.
so happy, and I really hope you can experience that happiness.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Um, we have another guest with us today, and I think it's about time to introduce him and bring him in. Um, he is from Norway, and he started to meditate in 2003. He's a musician and an active member of the artist movement RAVA, the Renaissance Artists and Writers Association, which is a worldwide movement of artists, writers, musicians, and creative people who want to use their talent to serve humanity and make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Prana Krishna.
Namaskar.
And Prana Krishna, you are a musician, and
Yes,
you make your own music. You play in different bands, and but you're also a composer and make your own songs. And we thought to maybe start with one of your songs, the River Kirtan.
yes,
Yeah.
let's do that. Standing on the river, so calm in the night, just like the moon, I'm all dressed in light. I'm not alone, there are many here with me, waiting for you to take us to the open sea. Oh, guide us past these treacherous straits. We all yearn for our highest faith, and there you light up my path like the big full moon. Whisper so sweetly, I'll be with you soon. And there you are, my love, the only one I want to know. There are many here with me, and we're all dressed in lights. Brothers and sisters, won't you sing with me tonight? Baba now, Kevala. Baba now, Kevala. Baba now, Kevala. Baba now, Kevala.
What a beautiful songs.
Thank you.
Welcome, Prana Krishna. I really enjoy your songs. It's such a beautiful, and I feel in your song there is. Yeah, I know that you wrote that song, right? Is there
Well,
something that is about your journey? Can you tell me something about? Tell us about your songs.
well, this particular song is it's very special to me
Mm-hmm,
because I first made the kirtan, the mantra. So the
mm-hmm,
melody and the mantra was first, and it's a waltz kind of rhythm. So when you're singing it, you're sort of swaying back and forth with your guru there. And I started to see this vision of my guru either on the other side of a river, on the other
mm-hmm.
bank, or sitting on a raft. And I was either standing by the river or on this raft with all people dressed in white, dancing and singing for joy and love. And my
Wow.
guru just dancing for joy. And I thought I will put this in a song. And 5 minutes later, I had the song. And I looked at it and I thought, wow, I didn't write this. I had as much to do with writing it as the pen I was holding. And every time I hear it, it's something new hits me. So I don't know if I can take credit for writing this song. It just came suddenly, I guess.
Many artists express the same thing, that the art is often very intuitive. It comes very spontaneously.
Yeah, for me, it's like that when my when I do sadhana and my meditation is good, and I'm in that kind of a flow, it will come. If I'm somehow not able to do my sadhana properly or something, it's more difficult. It's much more work to express that inner voice.
So, do you think the meditation practices could influence your music and creativities?
Oh, very much. Yes,
Yeah.
very much. Yeah, anyone who I've thought this many times. Anyone who's an artist and wants to connect to that inner voice really should start some kind of meditation and sort of uh, look within to find that that little voice that speaks through your heart. So it's very helpful. Yes.
Right, right. Let's talk about Rava,
Hmm.
the Renaissance and Artist Association, Renaissance Artist and Writers Association. So this is a very interesting concept that combines artistic expression with service to make a better world. Artists sometimes tend to be a bit self-centered, while Rava gives the artist the complete opposite idea, to use one's creative force to serve the world.
Hmm.
So what brought you to Rava? What attracted you to Rava?
Well, so Rava is a part of our guru's holistic view on life. To me, it's part of the meditation. Is part of how you interact with society. So how do I explain this? I've thought deeply about this, and I don't really have a clear answer. It's something that just happens. It feels right to do service using the tools of music, which is so close to me, and which I love so much. So combining them, it just feels natural. And I've had the privilege of being part of Rava functions many places, both here in Oslo and on my travels around the world. And it seems like Dada was saying, you finally feel like you're worth something because you have this hobby or this music that means so much to me, and then I'm able to use something that I love to help other people. So I don't know if that answers your question. But yeah.
So, the spirit of Rawa is not to do art just for the sake of art, right? But it has a deeper purpose to make this planet a better place. So, if this idea could be adapted by the educational system or all other sectors, what difference could that make?
um, if everyone had the thought that whatever their occupation or whatever their action is should be to help others, I think we would be living in a beautiful utopia. It's something we have to work at, because we all have an ego screaming and hollering in the back of our mind. I want that. This is for me. I should get this. I did this, so give me uh, my proper recognition. Uh, if we can all quieten that through, I guess, internal service through meditation, yeah, we would live in a paradise. I think everyone would get along because we would see that we're all one family, and as a family we grow together. If we don't help each other through service,
Mm-hmm.
we will all be left behind, I believe.
Yeah. I think wonderful. You said it very well. I think it's time to do, and with that comment, I think let's do some meditation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Would you like a little bit of song from a small guitar?
yeah, thank you. That would be wonderful.
Bhavanam Kevalam 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 Bhavanam Baba Nam Kevalam. 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 Baba Nam Kevalam.
Now sit comfortable. Sit on your chair or find a spot on the floor. Keep your back straight. Breathe through the nose and take a deep breath in through the nose. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, release all tension. Feel the body is completely relaxed. Now, try to go deeper and deeper within. Deeper and deeper. Let the world around you disappear. And try to fix your mind on one tiny little point deep within. That little point is you. And around that point is that infinite Baba, that infinite divine consciousness. Continue to repeat the mantra, Baba Nam Kevala. Repeat it again and again. And try to dissolve yourself, try to merge yourself into that ocean of Baba, into that ocean of blissful consciousness all around. There's only you and that Baba and nothing else. Baba Nam Kevala. Now take a deep breath. Try to feel the ground under yourself. And slowly open your eyes again.
Okay, I hope that you all have a blissful experience in meditation just now. And now we're going to continue. So we will continue our discussion about the jamas and niyamas, which we have found out that it is very important for the success in meditation. Last week, we discussed the practice of brahmacharya, which means to try to see the supreme consciousness in everything. That is a powerful practice and elevates the mind and makes one feel spiritual bliss.
So today we will look at the first principle of niyama, known as socha. And this means purity or cleanliness. And these have two aspects. It is internal and there's external cleanliness. External cleanliness is like the physical body. So every day we should take a shower. Must make sure the body is cleaned. Otherwise, if it's not clean, the body gets sticky. Sweat will accumulate on the body, makes the body sticky, and this makes the body hot. And this attracts certain bacteria, and that causes some bad smell and often itching too. So we can't concentrate in meditation if we get this kind of itchy and unpleasant body. And then, of course, internal cleaning is done by fasting, and that is something we will come back to in another program and discuss it, go into depth about that. So that's the physical body. Then we have our environment, that is our house, our surroundings must also be kept clean. If there's very untidy and dirty around us, this affects our mind in a certain way. You know that if the environment is not clean, you feel you're not at ease. We are not peaceful. Immediately when you have done cleaning properly, you will feel immediately, wow, such a nice feeling, such a nice place to be. But sitting there and meditating in all the mess really affects the meditation. So to keep the environment clean is a very important part of socha. Then we have the internal part, which means the mind. And our mind have certain tendencies like selfishness or jealousy. And this is all about me, myself, I. Selfishness and jealousy also makes us very self-centered. When we think just about ourselves, and the more self-centered we become, the more the mind contracts. While if we think about others and the welfare of others, mind expands. A contracted mind cannot meditate, but while the mind expands more and more, we can focus on something higher, something infinite. The more we think about ourselves, the more difficult to elevate the mind and think of something higher. So to serve others, to think about the welfare of others, not just think about their welfare, but to do something for them when they are in need. To develop this service mentality is very important part of socha. It's very important part of purity of mind, to get that kind of peaceful and concentrated mind, pure mind. And that is the essence of socha. So evolution of humanity is about the expansion of our mind. And all the things that we are focusing on here today is about this expansion of our mind. So, Didi, it's time to hear from our viewers again.
Yeah,
Our
yeah.
our audience. Is there any questions from the chat?
Yeah, I would like to welcome again to all our viewers to feel free to write your question. But seem to be there is the one question about the service, but probably maybe we come back after that. Um, since
Okay.
that we are talking about Saucha just now, so I have one question here. Is written here to probably Prana Krishna. So if we know that the Saucha is very important as in the spiritual part, or especially those who practice meditation. So what if um one isn't keep their body clean or the environment is not tidy, or will one actually feel the difference during meditation? Would that influence the concentration? Or any one of you can answer.
Think that it's strange to think that it would, because you close your eyes while you meditate, so you'd think you wouldn't be aware of it. But by personal experience, if there is a cluttered room, then the ambiance, the vibration of the place has it doesn't have a calming feeling to it. So even if you close your eyes and you don't see the cockroaches running around or the clutter in the corner, you will still be disturbed by the fact that yeah, it's not a conducive environment for calming the mind and going inwards. So yeah, it does have some effect on the meditation.
And what if the body is not clean?
Well, then you'll sit and itch, and you'll be uneasy and move back and forth and start itching. And once you start itching one place, you'll suddenly have two other places that itch, and then that will be four, and so on. Because the mind also loves to grab on to the physical when you're trying to go inside. So if you have something it can focus on your body, it will do so. And if you're not clean, it just makes it easier for your mind to be distracted.
Right, right. And so, Dada Parmeshananda, we just learned that doing service is an excellent way to purify the mind. And you who do so much service, you must have a super pure mind, Dada. How?
Well,
Are
I
you
don't know, but
levitating?
I cannot judge, you know. But it has become. I remember someone told me like that when I was a young yogi, a younger yogi, that after some time, when you do service, it becomes your meditation, and when you do meditation, it becomes service, and it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful, and I think it is very true also. Not only beautiful, but true also that when your mind is engaged in helping others, and you don't think of your own needs, of your own frustrations, the mind becomes pure. And pure means joyful, means positive. Like you said, the more you are self-centered, the more you are egoist, selfish, the more it's and pure, we could say. So when your mind is focused, has this type of aim that I have a mission. In my every moment is a mission, and my mission is to do something for others. Then along the day it becomes like meditation. Sometimes you meet people who do practice meditation, but then they say that after meditation, the mind during the day goes down, 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 and they cannot keep, that type of stability and serenity, that inner peace. But when you are engaged in helping others, you remain very joyful and pure, yeah, in a way, because you don't think of your own, your own need, your own small things. So I think this is a very complete way of life, that you do meditation, but do also service. And in the end, service will become your meditation. And when you do a lot of service and you sit in the evening for meditation, you might be very tired. You might not be able to do long meditation, but meditation will be very not only deep but fruitful. Now your heart is full of life, full of devotion.
Nice. So that are talking about the service. There is one question here from Luke Otter. By the way, I want to say hello to Shanti Devi from Arizona and Luke Otter. I'm not sure where he is. So he has a question.
He's in
Uh,
Italy.
oh, he's in Italy. Okay, welcome to
Yeah.
join us. So do you think there is a difference in value between serving with your time versus simply donating with the money? So what do you think about that?
No, I think there is no service. I think no difference. Sorry, I think the service is an attitude. Sometimes people tell me, yeah, I'm not in Africa. I cannot serve, or I don't have money. I cannot serve. When I'm in Africa here and some people want to participate to the project, they tell me that I have no money. And some people tell me because they are in Europe, I don't know. But service is an attitude. It's a behavior. It's yes, an habit of the mind. So the way you deal, even when you cook food, you can do it with the spirit of service. So whatever you do with a pure spirit of service that you want to do something, and you are not expecting anything in return, you want to do it because you like giving. So you give your time, or you give your money, or you give your days. Doesn't matter so much. What matters is the attitude of mind. So anyone can do a service in any form as long as the motivation, the sincerity, and the heart is there.
Right, right.
Mhm.
We have some more comments from the chat, and it's
Yes, there is
Richard Hurl.
Namaskar. Yeah, he's from Canada, I
Namaskar from
think.
Richard. Yeah,
Yeah, and there is another comment. So it seemed that the service with the time level is playing field. It's something we all have that we can give, not all to have about the money.
Yes, precisely, precisely.
So we have
Even
listening from
just being
Argentina.
being being joyful, smiling to others is already service. When you go to visit a friend, what is your service? It's by being positive, being cheerful, being smiling. You bring a little bit of light in that family or to your friends. It's service also. So service is it's a way of life. It's not so much what you do; it's how you do it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
mm-hmm.
Beautifully said. Everyone can do it, right? No matter what capacity we have, no matter how much money, how little money we have, there's always opportunities for service.
Yeah, you don't need to come to Burkina Faso, but you can come to Burkina.
And anyone out there want to go and help Dada in Burkina Faso? Let us know. Write a comment to us in on our Facebook, and we'll put you in contact with Dada. I'm sure he would be more than happy to receive you in Burkina Faso. Yeah,
So Dada, maybe we can announce about our coming retreat, probably.
yeah. I
Mhm.
think it's time for that. Our next retreat is soon. It's in a couple of weeks. It's an online retreat, and that is from 10th to 13th of March. And all are welcome. It's a retreat that is designed for both beginners and more advanced meditators. All can join, and we will have it. It will be over. It will be 4 days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10th to 13th. Thursday and Friday we will just do evening program. This is evening program. That means in EST, in Eastern Standard Time. That is in North Americas and elsewhere. So in EST, Eastern Standard Time. So that will be evening program from about 6 to 10 approximately. Then we Saturday and Sunday will be full day programs. There will be a lot of classes, and we will do a lot of meditation. We will sing kirtan, sing mantras, and so on to put ourselves in the mood for meditation. And there will be classes on different aspects of meditation, understand how the body influences the mind, how do the nervous system actually influence the mind, how do the glandular system hormones influence the mind, how can we use this knowledge to meditate deeper. We'll talk about chakra. We'll try to understand chakra, mind, consciousness. What is it? How can we use this knowledge for our deeper meditation? There will also be cooking classes, and there will be what else, Didi?
Yeah, we will have some fun
Evening,
things. Yeah, we have
yeah,
some
fun things.
evening program storytelling. There will be some inspiration sharing. So don't miss our retreat, and please join us to give you a deeper knowledge about the meditation and deeper experience about meditation. So we come to the
Right.
end of our show. Thank you very much, Dada Padmesananda and Kana Krishna, for your time. We are really so happy to have you here. And for next week's show, we are pleased to introduce an interesting guest for you. His name is Dada Sadananda, and he works in Russia and other countries too. But in Russia, he is making a revolution.
Right. In Russia, meditation is spreading like wildfire. People are hungry for spirituality, and it will be interesting to understand why. So don't miss our show next week. It will be super hot. And yeah, everything good comes to an end. So it's time for us to end the show tonight. Big thank you to all our viewers. Tune in again next week, same time, same channel, and we will guarantee good entertainment and deep knowledge and understanding about life, about universe, about being a good human being. Thank you very much. And as we fade out the show, we will listen a little bit more to our brother in Oslo, Prana Krishna, who plays this very interesting instrument, a mixture of guitar and a sitar. Thank you very much, and see you next week.
See you next
Thank
week.
you so much.